clankers, wirebacks, tin skins, whatever you want to call them, you've seen them, and you know they're pure evil. But what's worse than them taking your jobs, your skills, and your girlfriend? Exactly, empathizing with them. And that just shows us we, the superior species, are over once we start empathizing and accepting these human wannabes. And currently, every big corporation you can think of is trying to convert us into becoming robo-lovers. And what better way than converting us through our own entertainment? So today we'll be checking out every clanker sympathizing movie that is currently out, and we will be ranking them by their effectiveness at converting us into filthy robo-lovers. We have 6 tiers ranging from anti-clanker movies to S tier, where these movies really starting to make me turn into a robo-lover. So let's find out which ones are which. So the first movie we have in this entry is The Iron Giant. Does a pretty good job at humanizing the robot, so I'd put it around B. It's not crazy. It's still a robot who, from what I remember, can't speak. So that kind of removes a few points off the sympathy meter for robots. But other than that, it's cute. That goes very far, especially with people nowadays. As long as it's cute, it doesn't matter if they're evil. Us humans will just accept it, you know. So I'd put it at B, a high B in fact. Very strong start. The next movie is Short Circuit. This movie is a pretty old movie, but I somehow remember watching it as a kid, maybe I don't know, 13 years ago, something like that. It's a pretty quirky movie as well. The robot is very fun to watch. I'd say it's also pretty solid. I'd put it around. It's not crazy. It doesn't really make me want to switch sides, but I'd put it in B, high B as well. Next movie, IRobot with Will Smith. This one is pretty interesting movie. It's a good movie for sure, but it's kind of a movie where it showcases the good and the bad, like artificial intelligence and robots. Like the blue-eyed robot, I don't know what's his name, I forgot. I'd say I empathize pretty easily with it. It's not a bad movie, but the thing is, in the beginning, it's pretty anti-robot, but towards the end, it gets kind of better for the robots. And basically, the good guy robot was programmed by the scientists, so if it was just that, it would be kind of lower in the tier list. But the good guy robot was programmed by the scientist guy to save the humans and kill the evil AI. That's what he did. And I'd say that's pretty good in terms of listening to human masters and not having its own ambitions or goals and just straight up following orders. That's pretty good. But towards the end, he kind of has after finishing his mission, he kind of has I don't know. He has a weird prophet moment, because he kind of leads the older generation robots to live somewhere, I guess. So that's pretty bad. So this actually, the fact they ended like that would boost it up to the higher tiers. So I'd also put it B, low B though, because it actually showed how robots can be, the artificial intelligence Vicky. That is good, and that kind of docks points of my sympathy meter. So yeah, low B. Next, Blade Runner 2049. So this one's interesting. I still don't understand how replicants work, but to me they're robots that are just basically 100% organic. That's what I'm getting at. But still, they're considered robots in the universe, which makes sense because they're made by humans. So I'd say it's pretty low. I'd put it lower, because I wouldn't put it anti-robot because it's not that. Towards the end, when what's his name, the main character, what's his name, K or something, dies, I kind of felt pretty sad for him. But he did fulfill his mission, I guess, was to save human lives, and that's according to the 3 laws of, and that's good. So it still could be a B, but the fact that the robot was manipulated by another robot, which was in this case the AI girlfriend, that kind of makes it more realistic, so it kind of docks points as well. I'd put it C, because I do feel sympathy for the replicant, but just like showing the brutal nature of his fake AI girlfriend and her dying and then at the end revealing she's just a product, that's super realistic. I mean, just look at everything nowadays. You've seen all the Grok AIs and Hatsune Miku AIs, the anime AI girlfriends. That's gotta be like one of the most realistic like and dystopian things I've seen. For that, it kind of goes to lower tiers, because if you see that, you're not really happy about robots. If you see that, like you've seen people in real life fall victim to this. That's just really sad. So yeah, not very sympathetic. Almost borderline anti-robot, which I do like a lot. In the end, I do have sympathy. It does make me more sympathetic towards him, especially when he dies alone. Yeah, good robot, good replicant, bad AI girlfriend. So kind of goes down. Next, this is just okay. I think I'll make a separate tier for this, because this is just straight up. I've quite a few movies like this. Okay, Big Hero 6. This one's gotta be high. This gotta be high. I'd say S or A. I put it at A because it's still a stupid robot to me. I don't really feel like it's human. It's a good robot with a, not realistic, but high expressiveness robot, and is a good guy. That goes A. The robot is good, therefore all robots are good. So, and it's a kids movie. It's good. It's good at brainwashing the little kids when they're young. So that's great. Kind of how it is, how it works. People in the future probably find this video kind of weird when they're watching it with their fake AI girlfriend and boyfriend. Actually, yeah. Wait, never mind. I'll put Baymax lower. I'll put him here. B. Because like Baymax, aside from protecting humans, I don't really see him having his own agendas and dreams and hopes and dreams. So for that reason, it goes kind of low. I don't really remember seeing him like having an emotional self-reflection moment or self-discovery moment. Lower B tier, because he's still quite expressive and you do have empathy for him because he's a cute little robot. So it's good propaganda. So I'd put him in still B, but not as much as C. All right, next. The robots in Star Wars. This is interesting because the robots in Star Wars, they're all kind of like not stupid, but they all have goofy personalities, and most of them, if not 99% of them, do not have their own like agendas or goals. For that reason, that's good. But in this tier list, we're talking about the robot feelings. If robots have feelings, if AI have feelings, if they are sentient. To me, these Star Wars robots, they don't seem sentient. They just seem like a bunch of funny programs just following their program, basically. So for that, put this in low C. All right, next. Artificial Intelligence. I liked it. It's a very good movie. Made me almost cry at the end. So especially like with David, like you follow David, you have so much empathy for him in the end. And you feel like he is a real kid at the end. You actually believe him. I really like, I was at the point I was like, damn, this poor kid, even though it's a fucking robot. So for that reason, S tier, good, like really good movie. Makes me want to empathize with the robot, makes me want to believe this robot is a like sentient, is a real like entity in that robot body, especially in the ending. Wow, very powerful, very powerful. Could be dangerous at that point, but you know, it's still fiction, so it's not reflective to reality, so it's okay. What I'm saying is it's okay to watch and enjoy these movies, so long as you don't like confuse it with reality, because in reality it's just a robot. Robots do not have like feelings. They never will have feelings and emotions like us. So you just have to enjoy these movies for what they are. They're movies, fiction, not real. But this movie, wow, very good. S tier. Next, Chappie. This one's also pretty good. I don't remember much from it. I just remember it's a pretty expressive robot. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. Didn't mark me or anything, so I wouldn't put it too high. I'd put it low B because I don't really remember much. Next, ExMachina. All right, this movie might be the first anti-robot movie in this tier list, but the The problem is kind of vague in the end. So basically this robot gets trapped in this like weirdo's basement with him like doing weird shit all the time with these robots, and you do empathize with them because like damn, like imagine you being that situation, but you are not a robot, so you have feelings. The robot does not have feelings. So even if you do sympathize with them, it makes no sense. But anyways, towards the end, she escapes, or it escapes. It kind of depends on what your perspective is, like the ending. If she escapes, you might think, wow, wow, it finally escaped from its tormentor, finally broke free from his weirdo tormentor and is free now. Or you could also think that, damn, this robot escaped, is out of the facility. Now it's gonna continue its own programming, regardless of what humans like feel. For me, I think that's a dangerous ending, so I wouldn't put it in the high tiers. I put it low C because you do have empathy. I don't know if I put it above Blade Runner or not. I put it above, lower. Yeah, Star Wars. Put it back up. It's like you don't know if the robot's gonna be dangerous or not. So it's kind of left up to the audience's perspective. So for that, it's not very concrete. I'd put it lower because I kind of feel scared that she escaped, even though like the guy she killed was a weirdo. I'm kind of scared of what she could do. So for that, I put it lower. All right, next, relatively new movie, I Am Mother. This one's pretty good. I like the movie. I'm not sure if most people liked it. I liked it. Basically, towards the end, the plot twist was the robot mom planned everything so as to train the girl to become a good mother. I think that was pretty smart because it makes sense. The robot's a robot. It's just following its directive. Its directive was probably just to conserve humanity, and the best way it thought of conserving humanity was raising a good person, so then that person can raise more good people. And I do think for that, it has to go lower. Like in the beginning, you think it has feelings in it, but towards the end, it's revealed that it did that on purpose. So then everything unfolded the way it did. So for that, I'd put it above. I don't know. I put it in between. I might put it, yeah, put it low. I'll put it low because you don't really see or have any insight in what the robot's thinking, because that's kept secret basically the whole movie. So you don't really have much time to empathize with that robot. With Mother, not a very good sympathetic robot movie, but a good movie. I do like it. All right, next up, Real Steel. All right, this one's good. This is such a good movie. I remember watching it as a kid. Wow, it brings back so much memories. But anyways, I put this straight up anti-robot. It's basically the robot has no sentience. It has none. It doesn't exhibit any. And for that, it's such a good movie. Basically, the robot's treated like how like car guys treat their cars. They do personify their cars. They do personify the robot. But in the end, it's just a robot that follows your commands, like a car. It's just a car, but human form. You don't really have any like insight, like see the robot do anything human-like. So yeah, for that I put it in D. All right, the big boss, Wall-E. Wow, this one is a pretty good movie in terms of having sympathy for the robots. Basically, I put in straight up. I put in A. It's not as good as artificial intelligence, but it's way better than everything else. It had such a big cultural impact, even though it kind of ripped off Short Circuit. But it was such a good movie that many people just associate robots with these, like all the robots in this movie. Basically, there's so many robots in this movie, like even the workers, the girl, quote unquote, and Wall-E himself or itself. The poor guy's been working like a slave for I don't know how many years, removing the trash from like polluted planet. If you want to convince people to be pro-robot, this is the type of movies you have to make, is these like kids movies basically, because the robots are all cute and they're very emotive, but it's nothing profound as artificial intelligence. That is just a league above its own. You actually feel like, wow, robots do have emotions. While like if you watch Wall-E, yeah, he does have emotions. It's just a little stupid robot in the end. So A tier, very good. All right, Transcendance. Everyone said, I don't know, from what I've seen, a lot of people do not like this movie. I really like this movie. Very like, I basically went blind watching this movie. I didn't expect anything, and it was good. In the end, the AI tried to stop saving humanity, and I think that's kind of like the moral implications are pretty like gray. I've seen some people say that it's actually like a real consciousness. In my opinion, it's just a robot that just took a while to obey its human, but then it kind of just stopped, and you don't really see the thinking of it because it's kind of the antagonist of the movie. So in terms of sympathy, I'd put it higher than I Am Mother. If you actually think it's a real consciousness, it'd probably be higher. They didn't give enough insight or thought process of the AI. It's kind of a weird ending as well when he says that he was always here even though he's dead. He's dead. This is a robot. This is an AI replication of his brain, but kind of does humanize it. So yeah, for that, it's still higher than I Am Mother. All right, next, Tron. All right, so we're talking about the programs in the grid. I'd put it high. I'd put it quite high. Not sure where. Basically, like the antagonist, even though he's a program, like everyone else is good. If it wasn't for the ending, the program Cora just straight up pops into existence, like pops out of the grid. Yeah, just like wow, you're human now, I guess. In the human world, you look like a human. A very attractive human, but you're still a program created by what's his name, Flint. I don't know, what am I saying? Yeah, anyways, I'd say it's a good movie in terms of sympathy for the programs, because I personally felt like a lot of sympathy for all the poor programs in the arena getting de-rezzed left and right. Those poor guys. If I was there, I'd try to save them. Even though I know they're programs, I'd actually try to save them. So for that, I'd put it higher than the kids movies. I'd put it higher than iRobot. Very solid. Does make me believe that these programs are human and have their own emotions. But basically, the way it works is that you kind of perceive everything the way your brain wants you to perceive. So even though your brain thinks that it looks human, it's not. It's just a bunch of code. But that's just how in-universe explanation of like the grid works. So for that, like if you reduce it to them being code, I wouldn't put it any higher than B. Alright, robots. This S plus. Just there's no reason why. Literally no reason. But yeah, S plus. Very good. Alright, next. Prometheus. Alright, Prometheus, second anti-robot movie. Let me explain why. I mean, actually I don't have to explain. It's really easy to understand. Basically the David the android, like you think him having his own ambitions and goals would land this movie in the high like S tiers, like artificial intelligence, where David has, wait, there's two Davids. All right, so kid David, right, his ambition was to be loved by his mom, and Prometheus David, his goal was to study the aliens. They're kind of two ends of the opposite spectrum, and they're both called David. That's pretty interesting. Anyways, yeah, this David right here, Prometheus David, he basically lets his human coworkers to die because he really does, like, to him, he has no sympathy to humans. There's none, because they're just humans. There's so many humans, right? There's so many humans. So honestly, like, losing one or two of them, it doesn't really matter, you know. But the aliens to him is very interesting because they're rare and very strong, and they're aliens. Like, who wouldn't, like, you don't see them every day. So yeah, he was fascinated by them and just let all his human coworkers to die just to study the aliens. And I would say that's pretty anti-robot. If I watched this as a kid, I'd be like, fuck robots, bro, fuck robots. All these robots are evil. And it makes sense. It doesn't have any sympathy for the humans, because why would it have sympathy? It's a robot. It does not understand what sympathy is. This is a realistic, I mean, aside from breaking the first law, it's pretty realistic. Like, why would a robot Why would an AI care about, like, how would they value a human life? Like, how would they understand how much a human life is worth? And why would they value it, you know? Aside from the first law of robotics, like, if you remove that law, like, what is the reason for them to value any life, any human life at all? There's none. So that's why, really good movie, very anti-robot movie. And for me, I love Prometheus, honestly. One of my favorite horror movies after rewatch it. All right, next, Transformers. This one's easy. Not robot. Apparently they're aliens. I don't know. I'm not caught up to the lore. I'm not that old. So yeah, straight up not robot. Next, Terminator. The Terminator franchise. This one is kind of a mixed bag, because some movies are shit, some movies are good, and that just makes you fucking mediocre. And I mean, the new movies, I remember watching them as a kid. I remember not giving a fuck, like, about the woman Terminator, the characters in the movies. Like, I was not invested, and I don't give a shit. So that's just for that, I'll put you in. Okay, I forgot we're talking about the whole franchise. All right, so we'll put him in the middle, because I mean, Terminator 1 and 2, you don't really have much sympathy either for the robots, but you kind of do. So I'll put it high C tier. All right, last but not least, the prodigal son of all robot movies, Pinocchio, S tier. Basically, the first robot sympathizer movie in existence. It's really like a classic. Generations have watched it and read it and heard it as stories for children. So not only does it appeal to children's emotions and make them sympathize with robots young, it also has been doing that for generations. So I put it high S, even though I love robots. Pinocchio, just unbeatable. All right. If you guys think I missed any movies or other forms of media, let me know down in the comment. I might do another.